What's up, guys? As you may or may not be able to tell, we're in for something a little different today. I am on my motorcycle, which you'll see plenty of over the coming video, here in front of the shop, a hidden light. And I have a very important delivery to make today in Joshua Tree, California, which is a little less than 400 miles and from Flagstaff, and from here on the back roads it should take me about 8.5 hours. I could do it in 4 hours, maybe 5 on the freeway, but freeways are so boring, so I'm not gonna freeway. We're gonna take the old motorcycle on the scenic byways, state highways, just the smallest roads I can get away with and still get there in one day. I have behind me, which you may or may not be able to see, a great big backpack. That's the 8x10 kit. So I'm taking a big stupid camera with me on my motorcycle. Actually, let's just do this, shall we? So here we are, loaded up. Got my 8x10 kit and tripod. Got my own personal clothes and stuff for the trip on the back there. It's good to have a giant sissy bar for trips like this so I can store all my stuff. And then the bike is a Sportster 1200. And it's a brisk 25 degrees Fahrenheit in Flagstaff this morning. So I'm very bundled up right now, and it'll be almost 100 degrees when I get to J Tree tonight, so I'll be able to lose layers along the way. First step though is to drop in elevation, so we're going to go through Sedona, Jerome, Prescott, and cool off. I mean warm up. So yeah, let's try this. I've never done this before. I have done this ride before, but I've never done like a moto vlog attempt. So, I don't know. See how it goes, I guess. Lovely breakfast here in Prescott, Arizona. It's warming up a little bit. I got one more twisty-turny section through mountains, some hills, some elevation, and then we'll drop down through Skull Valley into flat desert everything. I'm making good time so far. Looks like I'll get into my hotel around 4 o'clock. But first, got another 5 hours of riding to do. Not gonna do itself. Spots like this are why you take the back roads. If I can get the camera off the bike. How cool is that? That is just plain neat. You know, I think this might have actually been the same room I had the last time I was here. I've been to this hotel before. The owner has a thing where he'll sometimes throw parties, and his parties involve him giving away free whiskey. Yeah, looks like a motel room to me. And that's all I really need. Place to drop my stuff, get changed, ready, go. So, time to get into something a little more comfortable. And then I'll be headed up to some bar. They're having some sort of get together. I don't really know anything about it other than where it is. And I do know where it is. So I'm gonna go head over there. They started at 5, which was just 15 minutes ago. I made pretty good time considering all the stops I had to make. So yeah, hydrating, changing. Special delivery mode activated. I have film and it belongs to someone. Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
You're kidding.
I have an entire fridge from head to toe.
And I'm getting my film from Matt. Thanks, Matt. Oh my word, just gifts.
Special delivery.
Thanks, Matt.
400 miles from Flagstaff.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh, so much fun. Morning time. Sun is up, but just barely. Been up for 20 minutes. I'm packed and ready to get on the road, get into the park, see if I can find something to take pictures of today. Might as well. Check out those clouds. Gonna be beautiful photography today. As I was cruising in there, just watching the light, looking for a well-lit, mature Joshua tree. Not one of the scrawny ones, but like a nice big one like that. And then I'm trying to figure out a way to separate it from its background. Gotta separate things. You know, include the right things, exclude the right things. So I'm off the bike, just gonna wander around, see if I can find a composition I like. And then we'll, if I find something, and I probably will, because come on, that's real pretty. Set up a camera and shoot some film while the light's low and angular and pretty. When the light is flat, like from straight on like that, it's okay. But when it's slightly to the side, like, it's much more dynamic. The problem I'm gonna have with a scene like this, aside from the foreground, is making it not about color. Because the greens against the golden sort of beige against the blue sky is gorgeous, but I'm not shooting color. So I've gotta try and make it black and white in my head. Or I could use my phone viewer trick, I suppose. That would work just as well. But yeah, gotta figure out what the photo is, man. And while the light's low like this, it's always good to get them. I like them kind of backlit. Like, okay, side lit, very pretty, cactus and stuff. But when you get the sun shining kind of through them, like that, ooh, yeah, right there, you know, something like that. That always looks good too. So, just scouting around. Okay, I found one I think I like. So it's time to switch from Moto mode into photo mode. Kind of a glimpse at what's going on. It's kind of my first rough draft. Not bad. I've got some foreground shrubbery here that there's really nothing I can do about, but I like this composition enough to try one and see how it goes. So, time for some meter readings, eh? Yeah. The clouds are going to make this one. I may include a little more sky. We'll see. Ah, what a beautiful, calm morning to be out and about taking pictures. So, meter readings. I've got my handy dandy meter holster. I'm not much of a meter guy, but turn it on first. F8. And I'm feeling FP4 Plus, which is ISO 80. Okay, guess I'm feeling F16. 30th of a second, I can handle that. Shadows are at a 15th. Clouds, which are going to be my highlights, are at a 60th. So, well within the range of what that film will do. I feel great about that. Holster. God, I'm such a nerd. F16, according to the meter. My limitation here is shutter speed, so I could put an ND on this and shoot it wider than F16. But honestly, 16's it's a little past the middle of this lens. It's gonna be fine. So I've got my shutter closed. That's this little guy up here. And then I'm neurotic, so I just like to test it. Seems to be running well. I got it 25th of a second, which I think will be just fine for this. So time to load up a sheet, make it exposure. Oh, These old film holders are gonna take 2 hands. This one doesn't want to come loose. Fuck. Sweet. First frame in the bag. I'm set up already, so I'm gonna go hunt around and see what else there is. This big beautiful rock behind me looks better in wide angle GoPro than it does at normal 50 millimeter or 35 or 300 millimeter on 8x10. So, but the light's beautiful and the sky's doing epic things this morning. So I may have to figure out a way to make that shot happen. Let's go look. Oh, yeah. Nice. I don't know about putting a tripod up here though. Doesn't seem like it's tenable. It's totally a word. I'll Google it later. One, two. Ooh. Nailed it. Yeah, piece of cake. Oh yeah, we're doing great. I don't know about you guys, but I'm killing it. Let's see, we are going to open up and open up. Guys, I'm really proud that I'm getting to the point where I can work this camera by feel without having to necessarily look to see where everything is. I mean, I'm not there with the shutter speeds yet or anything, but you know, opening and closing the lens, that kind of crap. That's going to be close. And then level. Thank goodness for the levels built in to the camera. Okay, now I need a dirt cloth. And while I'm there, I'll grab a sheet of film. Ready, go. This is a moment where I need another photographer to take a picture of me up here silhouetted against this beautiful background with this beautiful rock, because it looks cool. Okay. Could have sworn I opened that lens. Oh, I did! But I've got film in the camera still. Silly. Silly, silly. Do you like my dirt cloth? It's custom. All right, bring that focus way in. Watch the bellows extend. Good. All right, why don't you guys come in here? Why don't you come in here and I'll show you what we're getting ourselves into here. My clouds have kind of disappeared, or at least it looks like they have. It's probably not going to focus. I got this total bullseye thing going on with a crack in the bottom half, a huge vertical line all the way through the frame, and then a whole bunch of sky that it would be great to have a whole bunch of clouds for. And then this little rock in the front foreground here, providing a little bit of depth or possibly a huge distraction. Who knows? I don't know. I like where this one is trying to be, and if I can get some clouds in it, I'll be a happy camper. And if you look with your eyeballs, it looks like there's clouds back there from this angle. It's hard to tell though. Look at this freaking thing. Chonk. Oh. I do have a fair bit of rise in this, which is on purpose. Trying to clear some of that rock in the foreground. I gotta figure out which way these clouds are moving. It's hard to tell. I don't know. It looks pretty good from here. I'm just gonna run one. And since I've got a holder up here, and it has, so I did a terrible thing. And I've loaded and shot uneven numbers of film. Let's get some light on my face. So when I was finishing off the 2 boxes of film that I had available, or 2 of the boxes, I had an odd number of sheets. So this holder was Ortho 80 on one side and FP4 Plus on the other. It's the only one of those holders that I loaded wonky like that. So now I'm gonna shoot FP4 Plus, which means I might need some filtration. Or I might have to stop down. In this case, stopping down's not gonna hurt me, so we'll probably just do that. Because there's no foreground, or there's no background elements to really get in my way when I stop down. Because I like that Bocalicious life. I want to make a shirt that says Bocalicious. So, get our meter rate here. I think F32 is probably going to be where we're at. I could pull this sheet of film if I had to. And then, let's see if you guys can see through there. Yep, right. Oh God, it's hard to do. What do we got? 15th of a second at F32 at ISO 120. I'm into that. And there's no real shadow. Like, it doesn't, there's no shadow to have in this shot. So 15th of a second will do us just fine. Yeah, I'm into that. Rock and roll. So what do? For the sake of the camera, you take this bad boy and you take it way down to F32. And then you close your shutter. You see what that looks like? You should be able to see light in there, and then I close it. It's a lot more apparent when it's open. So you compose wide open, lots of light, close it down, close it down. Test and shutter speed. What did we say, 15th of a second? The closest I have on this shutter is probably going to be 1/10 of a second. And a little more is not going to hurt us. And then going down is harder than going up. Goodness. Oh yeah. Right there. Oh yeah. Right. Beautiful. Multiple trips though, because there's so much crap that goes along with 8x10. Sorry, I mean equipment, not crap, stuff. Gear. Yeah. Hello. Crap. I mean gear and equipment. Gotta like do that. I don't know if you've ever been a photo assistant, but if you have ever been a photo assistant, you know the bag appears to be closed like this, it must be closed, zipped closed, so that when you pick it up, the contents don't go spilling everywhere. And if a bag appears to be open, it must be all the way open so you can see that it's open. Photo assistant tricks. Tips and tricks with Matt in Joshua Tree. Then, because I care about this shot, I'm going to stop down 2 stops, open up 2 stops, and do it again, just so I have a little more depth of field. Wide open is good, but you gotta nail focus. That one's gonna be a keeper. Love that. Okay, I'm killing my battery. I should stop video now. Pack up, and there's a meetup happening in 15 minutes, about 15 miles away. So I'll go see if I can find some more photo nerds and hang out with them for a bit. Tell you what, this cloud cover today, combined with no wind yet, is amazing. I'm really feeling that. Check. Check. Things got busy, but I did manage to get actually a bunch of pictures. Got a shot of some rocks and trees and sticks, and then I managed to do a couple of portraits. But there's so many people. There's like a bunch of people here. So, you know, once you get the 8x10 out and you get talking about it, everybody wants to hang out, which is awesome. You know, that's what I'm here for, is like show off the camera, show people what it looks like to look through the ground glass for the first time. Super into all that. But it makes it hard to take pictures. So I did, what did I do? 10 frames, I think? Maybe 8? The weather today is supposed to be the best that I'm gonna get this weekend. So I'm allowing myself to burn through a bunch of film because tomorrow's not gonna be nearly as good. And then Monday I have to ride back. So yeah, turned out really cool. I'm stoked. It's also getting warm. It's 11 o'clock and might be time for lunch. What's up? Okay, so you might be wondering what the hell is going on. I was wondering the same thing, basically. So this all came about. I saw on Instagram, my buddy Cameron pointed out to me that Beers and Cameras was doing a collaboration with the Darkroom, which is a lab in California, and they were hosting an event. And it was like, okay, everybody, we're gonna meet up in Joshua Tree. We're gonna have photo walks. We're gonna have Beers and Cameras like happy hours. Sign up if you want to come. And they listed 100 tickets. And they sold out like almost immediately. It went fast. By the time I had got on to buy a ticket, they were sold out. I was like, womp womp. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, well, Joshua Tree National Park is open to the public. All the bars that they're going to are open to the public. They don't rent out the whole bar, which maybe they should think about because it was a big group. And so I was like, screw it, I'll go. I'll pack up the 8x10, we'll get on the bike, we'll go. I love Joshua Tree National Park. I try to come here every year. It's gorgeous. I've got a spot that I like to stay that's just outside of the park. Specifically, it's in 29 Palms, which has the less busy of the two park entrances. Right? So I've kind of got part of my deal figured out for that. And the weather looked really good, which is important because the last time I was here, it was cold and terrible and super windy. And so I was like, screw it, let's go. So hopped on the bike, packed everything up, rode out here. It took me about 8 hours, came down the back roads, and the ride itself was worth the price of admission. But I met so many amazing people. We had such a blast. I did sunrise, and I did meetups, and I did dinners, and I did breakfasts, and like just hanging out and meeting all kinds of incredible people. It was interesting, you know, you're meeting up with a bunch of photographers, and the best way to connect with any given one of them is Instagram, which, like, I'm out of practice. It's been 2 years, more than 2 years if I'm honest, since I've done any networking, meetups, photo walks, whatever. So I exchanged Instagrams with like a zillion different people, which was really fun. I got to make some portraits, which I'm really excited about. I got to make some landscapes, which are really nice. I got to ride around and enjoy the heat. It was like in the 90s, low 90s in the afternoons in Joshua Tree this weekend, which is just perfect. Considering it was 25 when I left Flagstaff, I'm gonna try and race a storm from Joshua Tree back home tomorrow. It was just, yeah, the desert, the heat, the warm has been very pleasant, and I've really enjoyed my time here and meeting a bunch of incredible people. I did not follow my own advice for one thing, so I brought the 8x10, right? That's what you do. I was also going to try and do a test with this camera, and I was going to test basically what kind of warming filter I can use to turn Fuji Superia 400 a little warmer, a little less blue-green heavy, so that it would behave a little bit more like Portra. And I shot the whole roll. I made some great portraits. I shot some really good candid stuff. Like, the images would have been fire. Would have been. I failed to notice that when I was winding the camera, we'll do one here so that you can watch. When you wind the camera, right, you want this guy to rotate. So we'll just pull tension on that. See that? Don't mind it being floppy, the spring's broken. When this rotates, you know you're pulling film from this side of the camera across the shutter to the take-up spool. I failed to notice that like 50 frames. I was like, man, this roll of film is lasting forever. So I didn't actually shoot any of that film, which is a real bummer. But we've all been there. I tell people when they come in and, you know, they get their roll developed and they don't realize it, it's a rite of passage, and it's something that happens all the time. And if I wasn't paying attention when I loaded this camera, and that's what happened to me. Story of my life. But hopefully the 8x10 shots came out pretty well, and I've rectified my situation and loaded this up with a new roll of film, and I'm gonna go shoot it during stops. I actually may go back into the park this afternoon to see sunset, depending on what the sky is doing, and then I'll shoot this camera, the little baby Nicker mat, on my way back. Super bummed that I managed to load my film like an idiot, but that's life. So that's basically what was going on. That was where this came from, why I'm here, and yeah, we'll post some like some Instagram links or some photos that, screenshots or something from some of the people that we hung out with, because it was so much fun. And yeah, all that's left now, it's afternoon on Sunday. I'm basically chilling in my motel room during the warm part of the day. Pretty soon here, I might get out and go absorb the last of my heat, like go maybe wander around the park a little bit. And then tomorrow early, I'm going to ride back and try and beat a storm. It's going to be a windy, kind of brutal ride. So this may serve as the end of the video, and it may not, depending on how tomorrow goes. My neighboring motel rooms have a war of televisions going on, which is what happens when you pay for a cheap motel with thin walls. So it might be time for me to get out of here and go do something. But yeah, thanks for joining along this far. And, if you see a Beers and Cameras meetup in your area, go check it out, because you might meet some really cool people and be able to take some fun pictures. Sweet. See ya.